Hey guys, it's Anthony Bandiero, attorney and senior legal instructor for Blue to Gold Law Enforcement Training, bringing you another roadside chat. This officer is from Ohio. He says, I must move to Ohio. Recently, I was a cop in Texas. And in Texas, if we weren't going to arrest somebody for a misdemeanor, like a traffic offense, no license, whatever, if we weren't going to arrest them, we didn't search them, right? We just cut them their citation and told them to have a good day. In Ohio, at his agency that he's at right now, they're viewing things a little differently. What they're doing is they're arresting, allegedly, right? They're arresting people, for no operation. Like they're not supposed to, operate their car. They're searching their person, maybe even their vehicle. Maybe, I'm not sure about that part. They are searching the person, right? Searching the person, at least, finding nothing, and then releasing them and having a good day. All right. Is that lawful? No, it is not, right? So the case there is Iowa versus Knowles. Excuse me. What happened there is that an officer had the authority under Iowa law to make a full custodial arrest for traffic violations. But what he would do is he would search their cars instant to arrest. This is a person, but logically it's the same. He would conduct a search instant to arrest, and if he found something, the guy went to jail. If he found nothing, the guy walked. Does that sound familiar to you? The problem is that there is no search incident to citation option. In other words, if we have a crime that has no evidence, why are we searching them at all? Now, if you're going to make an arrest and it's objectively reasonable to make that arrest, then it is what it is. Now, sometimes, I don't like this, by the way. I think it's something that the U.S. Supreme Court does have to make more clear that this is problematic. But some courts will say, well, since the Fourth Amendment is based on objective reasonableness, if you do that search of the person and you find drugs and you ultimately arrest them, then the question is, could you have arrested them in the first place? Okay, but it's dirty, isn't it? Right? It's dirty. I guess the way that gets resolved, the way you teach cops a lesson, is to have the people who were not arrested sue, complain, and make a stink, right? I guess according to a lot of courts, I guess that's what the person should do. In other words, there's no solution for the guy who is initially illegally searched, arguably finds something on that person and goes to jail as an end result because it was objectively reasonable. I got to tell you, that's a bad way of doing business. That's a bad way of doing business. I mean, if we were playing that game and I was a defense attorney and I said, hey, officer, when you searched my client, what was your intent? In other words, would you have arrested him if ultimately you found nothing? And you got to tell the truth, right? You're going to say, no, I would have let him go. And then look at the judge and see what her or his face looks like. So it doesn't make sure you're playing the game of, who done it. Like, let's just say, if I find something, he goes to jail, but if not, he walks. You're playing that game. Do you think the court is going to be happy with that? Do you think we're making good case law and we're upholding the intent of Iowa versus Knowles when we play that game? So the answer is that we shouldn't be doing it. It's a bad practice. I'm vehemently against it. I think that the Supreme Court would have a case where an officer had 10 traffic stops, right? For operating without a license. And he searched all 10 people, but 5 went to jail because the cop found something and 5 walked. I think the court throws all of them out. I think they're all tainted. And we can have this debate about mindset doesn't matter and so forth, but intent does matter to a degree. It's like, what exception are you, when you put your hands on that person, when you're saying, I'm going to search you, what is your exception? Right? And at this point, we don't have one. We're just hoping we're going to have one if he ultimately gets arrested, which the court has held that a search instant to arrest does not have to happen after a formal arrest. I get that. Cops will see a hand-to-hand transaction, right? and they will go up to the guy and just start immediately searching the person, find the drugs, and then kind of like put the handcuffs on. I get that. I don't have a problem with those cases because typically the cops are in that frame of mind. The guy's going to jail. They're just trying to recover the evidence first. That's not what's going on here. Here, we're just rolling the dice, okay, hoping to find something. So I don't like it. I wish you guys would shut that down, because one day that could be your case that has your name on it. Can I also just tell you one thing? And this is, again, as I get older, I get, more philosophical, right? And the philosophy here is don't forget to police your community as if you were the recipient of those police services. In other words, police as you want to be policed. Can you imagine if you got stopped in some state, right? Texas, Ohio, whatever, for speeding, and the cop was going to give you a citation. But before he did that, he pulled you out of the car and did a full search incident to arrest. And you're like, let's say you're retired or you're off duty, right? And you're like, trooper, what are you doing? Why are you putting your hands in my pockets? Why are you emptying out my shoe? And the cop says, just to make sure you don't have anything. Have what? I don't know. Just making sure you don't. If you don't have anything, you're walking. If you have something, you're going to jail. I know that every cop listening to this would be livid. They would be crying everywhere about how their rights were violated. They would feel so disrespected by it. But yet, when we do it to other people in bad faith, in my opinion, we feel it's good police work. It's not good police work. Don't forget the Fourth Amendment is a bounds of freedom and crime control, right? It sounds like a police state to me. And nobody wants that because I want to police in the same manner that I want to be policed. So I'll get off my soapbox now. This one does bother me, as you can tell. I don't like it. And a lot of cops do it. Please knock it off. With that, my friends, don't forget to attend our free webinars every Wednesday, usually every Wednesday. Attend the free webinars. You get a certificate. You can ask any question you want of me and my amazing instructors. And until next time, you stay safe and make good case law.